The federal government says there's no need for the nationwide hunger protest scheduled for August 1 to 10th. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said this while addressing State House correspondents after the Federal Executive Council meeting today. President Bola Tinubu presided over the meeting. Idris stated that the government is already addressing some of the demands made by Nigerians. The administration is also working on food availability for the country, he added. According to Idris, President Tinubu believes that the government is responding to the needs and requests of the youth. Well, for more on the upcoming protest and how the police intends to safeguard residents of the Federal Capital Territory, I'm joined in the studio by Benneth Igweh, the Commissioner of Police in the FCT. CP Igweh, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so let's begin with yourself, your career. You resumed office as the CP of the FCT in February this year. So tell us, how is it going so far? How is the job going? What has been your experience, briefly?
The job is going well. I took over on the 2nd of February, and I hit the roads running. And since that February till now, you can see absolute reduction in crimes and criminal activities in FCT. So, and that's what we intend to achieve. We decided to dominate the unpoliced spaces and the ungoverned spaces, both the bushes and our boundaries. So it has accounted for the difference in policing in the security of FCT. And we don't intend to lower any flag. We are hitting on, so that we want to ensure total safety. You can see people moving around. It's not like that before. People are around, and the security forces feel very happy that peace has returned to FCT.
We've always moved around in Abuja. Abuja is not like Borno State, for instance.
Yes.
So, well, I guess Abuja residents will say whether it's improved tremendously.
Yes.
But can you tell us, how many men do you have in the FCT Police Command?
We have close to 7,000 men in the FCT Police Command. But for this particular program, preparing for the protest, we have deployed almost 4,300 men. So
we'll come to the protest. So you have, how many men did you say in the FCT?
7,000.
7,000.
Yes.
Is that nearly enough for the security needs of the FCT? Or in an ideal situation, how many men would be more practical for you?
You know, it depends on the population of FCT.
Right.
The estimated and the real population. Because FCT, we have decided to discover that FCT is where everybody in Nigeria comes into, without fear or favor, affliction or ill will. Everybody is now residents in FCT. Even in the Lungus are all populated now, because Abuja is where everybody wants to come. If there's some say there is insecurity in the northeast, insecurity in the northwest, insecurity in the southeast, insecurity in the southwest, everybody is now inside FCT. FCT has almost 26 satellite towns where people living in them has no address. So, and we have to manage them. That's where the poor people live in FCT.
So how many men will be more practical for you to police the entire FCT?
If you ask me 2 times, I will tell you like 20,000 men.
Right.
For the FCT.
Have you requested for that?
Yes,
and
yes.
We
will soon start training. We have finished the recruitment of people we are training for the police force in its entirety. So very soon, in the next 1 month, training will resume. And we want to beef up the security.
Okay. In regard to the protests, the government would rather that this does not happen at all. Do you agree with the president on that?
Yes, I absolutely agree.
And why is that?
I started appealing to the youths, to residents of FCT, that there's no need for this protest, especially in FCT. Why especially in FCT? It's because people were talking of insecurity. Now they don't talk of insecurity in FCT again. It's the government, this government that has made a difference, very clear. We have been in FCT. We have not seen things like this before in FCT. You can see the roads. You can see it even in the rural areas. There's no boundary of FCT I do not know. From the first state boundary us. So, and the roads has been to those areas, many of those areas. I'm telling you absolutely, I'm not exaggerating.
But you do know that this protest is nationwide. It's not just the FCT, and it's not only about security issues that people are protesting about.
Yeah, I agree. So they said it's hunger. Some said it's bad government. Some said it's hunger. As if it is bad government. Why are you talking about bad government when you know that the government in FCT is doing well? And we have not done anything to say that government is not doing well in FCT. Because the difference is very clear. Absolutely very, very clear. Because since we resumed, since a few months I resumed, you can see new roads in FCT, in Maitama, in Asokoro, in everywhere. They're moving up. And good things happening. So you cannot talk about bad government when we are seeing the difference. It cannot be real. I'm sorry.
Well, there might be some improvements in the FCT in terms of infrastructure.
Yes.
But we're talking about the entire country and the cost of living, the cost of food, and so many other things that are affecting people. So you would understand why people want to register their discontent with the government.
Yes, that's why we said, if it is the compulsory that you must protest, if it becomes absolutely that you must protest, don't make it violent. You can protest very normal. After all, a lot of miscreants have been protesting, and we are leaving them. We have not killed anybody about protest. People that are disgruntled, they have right to protest. But what we are saying is that don't make it violent. Once you attempt, that you made any attempt to make it violent, we will react. We will react, absolutely.
What do you mean by you will react?
If you make it violent, we come out violently. No person has monopoly of violence. Nobody.
Right. So what do you mean violently? You will go into the streets?
If they go to the street and start damaging people's vehicle, because they will first of all block the highways and start damaging people's vehicles and start dismantling, entering different shops. Last time they entered ShopRite, they started looting people's waste. They entered markets and started looting people's things. And somebody would like us to keep quiet. We cannot keep quiet, man.
So what specific measures are you putting in place? Because it looks like this protest will happen. What are the measures you're putting in place in order to manage this? Because protests can also be peaceful. People just saying this is what we need and this is our demands.
Yes.
Or these are our demands.
The protest, if the protest is peaceful, we don't have any problem with it. What we are against is protest that is violent in nature. When you go and buy miscreants for them to damage people's things, because maybe you have anything against the people of Nigeria or you have anything against the government of the country, it doesn't make it up. So, and that's why we're saying, if there's compulsory thing you must protest, don't make it violent. Protest like every other person that has been protesting. We wouldn't mind.
Okay, so you are telling us as an office and the boss of the FCT Police Command that you are committed to law and order as well as upholding civil liberties of Nigerians.
That is what we have been preaching. We have told the youth there's no need of this protest. Let us watch the government, what they can be able to do so that we can rate them. You have not given them enough time, so we cannot rate them. If you are carrying over anger of ancient grudge and you want to use the ancient grudge to start damaging things in FCT, we say no.
What exactly do you mean by ancient?
Because they said they have been during the last regime, there were equally protests of bad government. I was here. People protest that was bad government, end SARS, end this, end the one. We all here. So, and we have said, you have been protesting. Some people are agents of protest. They have gotten PhD in protesting. They are still around. They are trying to organize this one.
But protest is a legitimate
Agreed.
way of engaging government.
Agreed. But it's not good for you to be identified every time that you are protesting. Your name became protester.
So do you have anybody specifically in mind? Because it looks like you
already
profiled people.
I don't have anybody. I don't need to mention anybody's name. They know themselves. And we are meeting. We will see meeting on the street if they come out. They know me now.
So how do you balance public order with respecting the rights of protesters?
It's balanced, my dear. We balance it because We know where our right starts and where it ends. They should equally know where their right stands and where it ends. So we mix it up. They buy from the same market we go and buy. If they say prices are high, prices are equally high for us. We don't have different market and they have different market. I agree, we are in government, we are law enforcement, but we don't have market for law enforcement and market for the protesters, that their own is higher than our own. No, but what we are saying is that think about what you want to do. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? What is the end point? If you think the end will justify the means, we say no, let the means justify the end. So you don't need to go violent, or if you want, because you want to protest so that you'll be noticed. It doesn't matter.
So CP Igweh, it's good that you mentioned that you buy from the same market.
Yes.
That Nigerians, go to.
Yes.
So, for instance, during the NSAS protest,
yes,
a lot of young people were, beaten back by the police and the military. And the argument then was that whatever is the outcome of a peaceful protest or a demand from government, it's also fighting for the welfare of Nigerians and you and your men as well.
Let me tell you.
This protest.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
What happened is that during the NSAS, that is one of the protests that have gone viral. During the NSAS protest, we agreed. The people did not notice the intention of the organizers. Along the road, they have to change the gear and bring their intention, specifically. The police became the sacrificial lamb for the NSAS protest.
What do you mean by that exactly?
Yes, police lost. We lost. We lost a lot of police stations, police headquarters. We lost a lot of arms. Many policemen were killed.
But a lot of Nigerians also
they started
lost their
attacking
lives.
Police. No, it cannot happen again.
So what we're saying is that a lot of Nigerians also lost their lives, and there were allegations that the government was the one sponsoring the violence or sponsoring a counter-protest against people that were protesting peacefully.
Not true. You know it's not true. You know it's not true. The government, they said we should allow them, that they are protesting. But you saw when they turn violent, when they start damages that we are talking about, when the miscreants that were bought came in, they have mindset. They have intention.
Miscreants that were bought.
Yes.
So and who
and
told
this
you
time
that,
again, they are buying the miscreants.
So who told you that the miscreants were bought by the young people that were protesting?
We know the account, even where they were putting money then. Right. And you know the account. We know the account they were putting money that they were distributing for that protest.
I don't know any account.
Okay.
But let's go to the Nigerian police and even other security agencies and how more often than not they use brute force against their own citizens that they are supposed to protect. Why do they have to use so much force against Nigerians?
No. You got it wrong.
It's not only during protests. We're talking about on a day-to-day basis. In many instances, you have cases of inhuman treatment. You have cases of extrajudicial killings. It's all across the country. Can you tell us what the police is doing about that and why that even happens in our country?
The police I know, the one I am in, for so long, have you heard any place that policeman has been convicted about extrajudicial killing for so long?
Maybe
you cannot.
So maybe there isn't a framework put in place to make sure that people that are maybe bad eggs in the police force, pay for their deeds. Maybe that's what it is.
What happens is that there were lectures, there were trainings, there were lectures, there were trainings on how to deal with the civilians, and the lecture entered. And the practice entered very well. Like the present IG is an architect of intelligent-led policing. You can see what we are doing here in Abuja is intelligent-led policing. And that's why you don't have any crisis. One of the things I said, and I said absolutely without fear or favor, is that when you carry arms and think you can make it by carrying arms, either to be a kidnapper, or you be a bandit, or you kill others to make it, we equally carry arms to make it with you.
So those ones are criminals.
Yes,
I'm talking about Nigerians that don't even carry weapons. So during this protest, will your men, are you assuring us that your men will use proportionate force in order to deal with the protesters?
We will use commensurate force. Yes, the language you use, proportionate. We use proportionate and the commensurate. Because that's why we are begging them. Let it not turn violent. Protest, if you want to protest, compulsory you must protest. First, don't come out to protest because allow government to think about so many things.
Yeah,
like, but if it's compulsory that you must come out, we will escort you. We'll provide security for you to be on the street. We'll protect you. But when you make it to turn violent, we will have to react. We cannot keep our food in our hands. NSAS has gone and it has gone forever. So it cannot repeat itself.
What protocols do you have in place to make sure that after the protest, when you're doing your review, if there are police officers that misbehave or behave badly, that they are brought to book?
That is measures for that already. The Riot Act has been read by the Inspector General of Police to every commissioner of police. And we have equally read the Riot Act to everybody. As at now you are talking, I'm just coming from somewhere. And we have read Riot Act on how to be civil, how to handle situation. And remember the law of vicarious liability. The vicarious liability is on our heads of whatever happens that is negative to the system. So, and no person wants the law of vicarious liability. So, and that's what we are talking about.
So why should Nigerians believe anything that you're saying today? In our country, the trust between police and the citizens, it's not really there. So why should we believe anything that you're saying?
Why I should say you should believe me is that since I became CP FCT, where I started my slogan, when you see something, say something. When you say something and say something, we do something. It has been working. It has been successfully working. If you can see how my phone is ringing, if you check his people, this protest that they're about doing, I have every information of what they want to do. Because people are calling me in, even though organizers, the citizens have grown to trust the police. They have grown to trust the police. I am telling you absolutely. For great instances, the robbery we went to foil, bank robbery, first bank robbery we went to foil in Abaji. From here we moved to foil the bank. Who called me? An Okada man. I gave my number in the television or in the radio. He called me. He said that called me. Because the robbers, there were many. They engaged the police station, they engaged the bank. Because after bank, you made the police station. So they couldn't have a response unit. So I will have to move in. And that was what accounted for the savior of the bank from being robbed. A citizen. The kidnapping squad that came into Dawaki that we went in to rescue, immediately they entered. Who called me? An Okada man. So they called me because many of them have my numbers. As you are carrying your motorcycle, they will be interviewing you. Sorry, I'm looking their secret. They will telling them where you want to go. See, wait for me. We are discussing something here. You will come to tell me. So it was an Okada man that called me, and I headed to that place, to Dawaki. I met the kidnappers. He told me the route they flew, and we went there, rescued them. Train people loaded with 576 passengers from Idu. They were going to Kaduna in the night. And they moved. And the train derailed in Asham, one village in Asham, inside one bush in Asham. It's one of the passengers that called me. And when he called me, I have to rest from here to that village in Asham to go and rescue the whole passengers and brought them back. So it has been working very tremendously.
Okay, during this protest, are your men going to use live rounds on protesters? Because live rounds, you know, we've seen that before, where people are just shot. I
don't know. We cannot use. If they use, we use. If they don't use, we are not using. Yes.
What do you mean if they use, we use?
If you say a protester carry arms and he's shooting, so if I have arms, I should allow him to kill me. No, now. It's not like that. If they protest peacefully, we go out peacefully. I will even escort them. I have been leading the escort of protesters here now. I've been long here. I've been the deputy commissioner of police here. I've been commander here, several areas. So I've been leading them. If you check your videos, you will see me leading them boldly. Even when my friends, I know them, I have seen them, they're organizing. Well, when they come, they will call me, I will lead them. But once I see you with a gun and you have deviated from what you have agreed, I have to react.
Okay, so
how you feel.
Let's look at this quote from you. You said, lions do not destroy their den.
Yes.
This is in reference to the protest you were essentially trying to dissuade people from going out in the streets. However, have you also thought about the authorities who also destroy the people's collective destiny by their actions, should they get a pass then? Because I think this is what it's all about.
What I mean that lions, yes, it's me that said it. Lions do not destroy their den. No matter, they can go out to fight. We don't fight within your den. Because when you destroy, what do you fall on? What do you fall back to?
But the leaders and the politicians and those in authority
I don't believe they're destroying their den.
Right.
I don't believe
you don't believe there's bad governance?
No, not that I do not believe. If there's bad government, we see. But this one, I'm seeing it is good. I am telling you absolutely because I have given you reference with what I have seen with my eyes. We are no longer kindergartens. Not to say the truth how it is. I don't care how anybody feels. But the truth is what I'm saying. I said in FCT, for where I have been, the CP, you can see the difference. If you drive around, you see the difference. If you go to hinterland, you see the difference. In security, in infrastructure development, in several things. So what is the protest for? That's what I was asking. That's why I was dissuading them. I said, do not destroy that den. Do not destroy the ones that who have been able to sin. Look at the rail line that are doing. People are going to start removing the roads on the rail that is free.
Yeah, okay, that's unfortunate.
To the airport.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's look at the police first.
It's not that it's unfortunate. It's you that will talk to the citizens. Not that it's unfortunate.
Let's look at the police first generally. Police seems to suffer mostly from lack of financial sufficiency. So, for example, you look at the barracks. A lot of the barracks of the police is inhabitable. Would like to understand what the problem is. Is it that you don't have enough funding allocated or the funding is being mismanaged?
No. What I believe in is that if you check, it depends on what is happening in the system. If you check now, as we are talking now, there have been demolition of the police barracks, and they are rebuilding them one by one. If you know the one in Maitama, where the IGs and senior people are living, they have been brought down. If you go there and see the wonderful edifice they are putting up, you will be surprised. If you go to different barracks, if you go to the one in Jabi, it has been demolished. They have put wonderful buildings. The one in Gariki here, they have been demolished now. Most of the police barracks, because they have gone old without maintenance as it then was. So that was why some of them look very archaic in nature. So the new government now is destroying them because they are rebuilding the structures of the police. And that's why we are saying we are happy. And that's why we are saying we are happy with this government, because a lot of police barracks have been brought down. You can see the one that are talking in Lagos. They are giving them quick notice. Every barrack man, every policeman living there is being settled to leave, go and find where you will be, so that they will rebuild the whole barrack. That is what we are saying. And that's what encourages us. And that's why we are talking, they are now taking care of our welfare. We are happy for that.
What is the force doing about financial extortion and harassment of people by police at different checkpoints? It's across the country.
Like the one you people used to post on social media. If anybody in police misbehaves, go to CRU. Many of them have been dismissed. Many is being prosecuted. We are not hiding our people. The present IG is a disciplinarian. We are not hiding anybody. If you misbehave, you carry it. That was why I was telling you about vicarious liability. So if you misbehave negatively, you vicariously carry the liability. So, and that's what happened. That's what has accounted for the discipline you have so far in the police. So far. I'm telling you absolutely.
Right. Take off your uniform for a moment and regard yourself as an ordinary Nigerian.
Yes.
Will you not be on the side of the protesters wanting for your government to do better and for your country to be better?
Even as I'm now, as I am today, forget about whether I take off the uniform. If the government is not doing bad, there's a forums where we will go and tell them we are not doing good. That is the truth. But that's what we are saying. It's not by taking to the streets that you will say this thing is not being done. There's channels you can follow. Forget, even if I didn't take uniform, we cascade and we tell the IG. The IG will carry it to Federal Security Council. They know and they act. The work they're doing now is not complaints from the small police people, rank and file, that most people living in the barracks. Then is their complaint that is carried up, and the channels was followed. So, and that's why the rebuilding is coming in. It does not matter. What we are saying is that don't go to the streets, don't block traffic flow, don't block people, don't damage people's things, don't Smart people break warehouses, break different shops to start stealing, go to markets. I was telling the traders when we had meeting, I say, it's good if some of you join the protest too, because I don't know, I don't have any good anywhere. I don't have anything. So when you join, if they eventually come back with you and start breaking into your shop, so be it. That is the truth.
CP Benneth Igweh, thank you so much for coming on Arise Prime Time.
God bless you.